Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny and welcome to Relentless and Unstoppable. We have another amazing guest coming on the channel today, so please hit like and subscribe. And after this episode, please stay tuned to the RNU channel for more amazing guests. Let's get this on!
Hey everybody, how you doing? Just a quick little share of why I started Relentless and Unstoppable. It was for one very simple reason, because of Doug Kenny. Nothing to do with me at all, zero. I was just coaching Doug, and he took on the coaching and mentoring, and he made all the changes. He took all the suggestions from his parents as well as my coaching, but it was all about Doug, his breakthrough and his weight loss, his willingness to accept that he is dealing with high functioning autism and other issues, but he's never quit, he's never given up. So we did one interview with him to share his story, and then we decided to start interviewing other people. And Doug has now taken over the whole channel, and he does all the interviews, he runs everything. He's just an amazing young man. So RNU was born from simply what an amazing young man Doug is, and his story needed to be shared.
I mean, who knows? I guess if there are any sharp objects around, like, who knows? Anything could have happened.
Yeah. So what was the television room like, and how'd you film that scene?
Sure. The television room was, they used a lot of different techniques. So they did cell animation for the millions of tiny pieces where they painted on the actual film. They got me to the other side. They faded in on me inside of a very large set piece. So they built a really big TV for me to be in, and there's a little section of it with a black velvet area that you can see if it's a good, if you're in like a Blu-ray or something, you can see the thing I'm walking back and forth on. And then I jumped down from this big set piece, this big TV that they built, and I'm walking back and forth and in front of the TV. And then there's a shot where you turn around, actually, and that is another superimposing shot. My mother's head is huge, and it's like the geese. It's the same thing. They shoot her from here, and they shoot me from here, and it looks like she's huge. So then after that, there's a little doll that she picks up and is holding me like this, and then it cuts to a shot where I'm in a flying rig with wires similar to Charlie and his grandpa, and it was uncomfortable. I can tell you that. I didn't like it. Me, not Mike. I didn't like it. It was not comfortable. I have a picture of me standing on the shoulders of a couple of stagehands that are very bored, one smoking a cigarette, and I'm standing on their shoulders just to take the pressure off of my body because in between takes I was hanging out on that thing. But anyway, that's a very quick shot. And then we go back and they pick up the little doll. It's a little doll about this big. They pick it up, throw it into the purse. And the last thing is I'm doing voiceover. I'm saying, I'm bending all the times, the teeth in your comb. I'm taking lipstick and I'm spreading it all around the inside of your purse. And I'm doing all these things in her purse that you can't really hear, but I'm doing it. All you hear in the movie is I'm going, oh, because they turned it way down. But I had a whole voiceover about stuff I was doing inside of the purse.
Ah, okay. So when each kid got eliminated, was that all that they had for their part in the production, or did they stay around till the end?
No, that's it. It was pretty much chronological. Yeah, Charlie was there first. He was running around doing the paper route, and then Julie had to be there earlier before me because she was doing the song and working on the song. But when we were done, we were gone for the most part. I mean, I saw them shoot Great Glass Elevator after I was gone. I didn't see them shoot Office, but it was happening. I saw them cutting things in half, and they mistakenly cut a coffee pot in half, and coffee came out backstage. So, the prop guy was cutting everything in half, and he cut that too, and he shouldn't have. So yeah, I was around for a little bit after, and I was around a little bit before too. I saw them shoot Golden Ticket in the bedroom before I was needed. So mostly though, when we were gone, we left.
Okay. What was your reaction in theaters when the office scene happened and Willy Wonka just suddenly lost it? You know,
You said in the theaters?
like when you saw it in the movie
When I
theater.
saw it in the theater? Yeah, I mean, I was trying to remember what happened during Office. Honestly, I wish I'd stuck around and watched them shoot that. I definitely remember them shooting Wonkavator, but I don't remember them shooting that. Yeah, I think I just saw the thing where they were heading into the Wonkavator. I mean, anyway, when I saw it in the theater, I think I probably had the same reaction as everybody else. I mean, I'd read the script, so I knew what was going to happen, but still, to see Gene do it, it's still moving. It's more moving than reading the printed word.
Yeah. I like how he I like how he sort of threw most of his tirade towards the grandpa rather than a young child,
Sure, that's true.
yeah.
And people have theories, like I said, about how Grandpa Joe is terrible. By the way, Jack Albertson was fantastic. He was a lovely man, very nice guy. But I've heard all the theories about Grandpa Joe also. And I think really what they're just trying to draw a distinction between the parents and the kids. Grandpa Joe, I think, is basically a good guy. He's just not as good as Charlie. This is my opinion. People are like, "Oh, Grandpa Joe's terrible." He was in bed for 20 years, and then he jumped up at the first chance to go do something fun. And why is he smoking while his family is starving? And it's like you can build a case, but I think he's basically a really good guy. He's just not as good as Charlie. Like when Wonka does that thing where he's yelling at them, it pushes Grandpa Joe from being a really good guy to somebody that wants revenge. And the difference between him and Charlie is even that doesn't push Charlie and change Charlie because he's just that good.
Yep. And
Yeah,
if he succumbed to that temptation, he would have lost the contest.
for sure. Yeah.
And yeah, what did you see exactly when they did the Wonkavator scene?
Yeah, like I said, I think I just saw them going in. And I might even have had a chance to step in there and sort of look around and just look at all the buttons, you know. But yeah, and I think that's the last thing I saw is when he was like, "We'll take the Wonkavator," and then they sort of headed in there, and then I think that's the last part I saw. And so I missed two really good scenes actually. I missed the scene where he says, he lived happily ever after, and I missed the scene where he said, "Good day, sir." But obviously, I was there for a whole lot of the rest of it, so I can't complain.
Yeah, good to hear. So, what did you do when the production ended? Did you celebrate with a party, a dinner, photo shoot, or?
No, I just took off. Yeah, I wasn't there for the wrap because I was gone. They have a wrap party usually, but I wouldn't know. I wasn't there. I was gone.
Ah, and you
Yeah.
were saying that aside from the scenes in the factory, the scenes involving like the computer, the FBI agent, and all that were filmed separately afterwards, right?
Right now, I don't know exactly. I know that the White House shot is really a shot of the White House, so that obviously is B-roll or whatever. It was not. It was not shot on any studio. It's possible that all of those things were also shot at Bavarian Filmworks. There's a book by Mel Stewart called Pure Imagination, and he may answer some of those questions in there. All I'm saying is I wasn't around for it, so it was separate to me. You know.
Okay. So, what'd you do in the years afterwards?
So I went to NYU for theater. I started acting at that time, and then when I got out of school, I had acted since age 6. So I just wanted to do something different, and I started traveling a lot. And I went to about 30 countries by the time I was 30, and just traveled all over the world. Started going to. I kept doing it. At this point, I've been to 69 countries. So I've not only been to the obvious, Italy and France and Germany and places in Europe and stuff like that. But I've been South America and Asia and, Mount Everest base camp and the Amazon jungle and Borneo and Sahara Desert and any place where they've got crazy temples and I was trying to be Indiana Jones basically. I was going all the far away places that I could possibly go and with a backpack on. And so that was one thing I did. I also worked at Walt Disney for a while as an Imagineer, where they design and build the theme parks. And that was about 2 years when I did that in 1991. We were working on Euro Disney. So that was a really fun job. That was cool. Sold real estate for a while. I did film production for a while. I worked as like a PA and sometimes an AD, an assistant director on a bunch of commercials and movies, a lot of movies, TV shows. The Good Wife. I did background acting and things like The Good Wife also, and what's it called? Royal Pains and some other shows. If you look in the background, sometimes you'll see me walking around. But I didn't really act anymore. A little bit in my 40s, I did some commercials and stuff like that. But I just found that there was life after art, and lived a very happy life. I live here in LA with my wife and 2 cats, and all good, no complaints.
That's incredible. Good to hear that you went through all that. So yeah, sounds like a fun life. And do you keep?
It's been great. I've never been bored.
Great. Do you keep in touch with your castmates aside from the late Denise Nickerson?
Yes, the other kids and I are all still in touch, and one Oompa Loompa that we also stay in touch with, and also a guy by the name of David Seltzer, who was the ghostwriter on the movie. But a lot of the other people are gone, so it's mostly just the kids at this point. Yeah, we see each other at conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah. What was your reaction when Denise unfortunately passed away?
I mean, it's sad, of course, I mean, we had sort of like a dysfunctional family, we would see each other, you don't have that many, I don't know, you're not as old as me, but you don't have that many relationships that go that far back. I mean, there's a bunch of people that I know as long as college and some high school. And, one guy that I met when I was 6 or maybe 10. But, these are people that I've known for a long time. So when one of them passes, obviously it's sad.
Yeah. Do you have any hopes for the future?
Always. Don't you? Do you have any hopes for the future?
Yeah, I would like to travel more often. I'm hoping to eventually live independently because, in case you didn't know, I'm on the autism spectrum, and
Yeah.
I'm currently part of a program called it's owned by Southwest Behavioral Health called the Southwest Autism Center of Excellence, and I'm being trained to live independently. And I'm on level 1 at the moment, but I'm about to graduate to level 2, which is where I would live in a group home.
Totally. I understand. That's a good goal to have. Absolutely. I mean, good luck with it. I hope you get there and get there soon. I was kind of kidding. I mean, you said, do I have any hopes? I mean, I think what you really want to know is, what are my hopes? Right?
Yeah.
What do I hope to do? I mean, I'm always doing stuff like these days it's scuba diving. I'm really into scuba diving, and that works well with travel. So I got my wife into it. She now likes it a lot. And so, yeah, I'm going to Thailand and to the Philippines and to the Red Sea to go scuba diving. I'm going to go to the Olympics in Paris in 2024. And so those are things I'm looking forward to. And I ain't done yet, if that's the question. I'm still doing stuff, still enjoying life, still trying to pack as much into life as I can.
Good to hear, man. So this is my final question, and how can your journey impact millions of people?
I mean, the crazy thing is that my journey already has impacted millions of people. I mean, it may not have been a major impact. It's just it's a color in a painting. If it was a pointillist, if life is a pointillist painting made up of dots, I'm one of those dots in a lot of people's lives. It doesn't mean that people are going to model their life after me. It doesn't mean that they're going to, I'm going to influence them in any major way. But there's just a little nudge that my performance gave them. Some people more than others. I say Willy Wonka to people, and some of them go, "Oh, that movie, yeah, I don't know. I might have seen it 50 years ago. I don't really know." And other people are like, "Oh my God, that movie? Of course. Yeah, that's my favorite movie." And, so strangely, it has had an outsized impact on some people's lives in ways that I never would have guessed. So that's cool. I mean, it's just got lucky. I don't know why. I know that I did hard work starting at 6 before that, and that set me up to be in the right place. But I can't explain it really. I can't really explain it, but it's cool that it happened.
I would agree. It's a great movie. And a few years back, it was selected by the Library of Congress as being historically significant.
Agree? Yes, that's true. It was. So that's an honor.
It definitely is. And I'd certainly feel honored being in your shoes if a movie I was part of was like that.
I totally agree. And it wasn't even a tiny role. I had a pretty good size role in it. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. All right. So that's all I have for now. But where can people find you?
Oh, wonkashop.com. So that's one of the ways it's changed my life is I have a website. It's called wonkashop.com. And if people want items that are autographed by me and the other Wonka kids, I've got them. I'm at my desk here. I've got, a golden ticket right to hand. It's not a real golden ticket. It's just a thing that we sign, I mean, if I were to turn this up here and turn this up like that, see, those are all things that are signed by, here, I should actually, I pointed at the monitor. I should point up here. Those are all things that are signed by me and the other Wonka kids. And I saw those on my website. So that's where they would find me, is at wonkashop.com.
Yeah, good to hear. And I still have a golden ticket that I got from you years ago when I wrote to you. So I thank you for sending me that autograph.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot, and I had fun.
Thank you very much. So everybody, please check out Paris Themmen on wonkashop.com, and we'll see you next week for the next episode of Relentless and Unstoppable.
That's me, Relentless and Unstoppable.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.